Our journey with this partner began in early 2020, at the beginning of the COVID pandemic. To address one of the many things the NIH did to address the threat of COVID was they launched the RADx initiative, a national call for scientists and organizations to bring their innovative ideas for new testing strategies. RADx stands for Rapid Acceleration of Diagnostics, and the goal of this program was, and continues to be, to make simple and accurate tests available for Americans to use at home, in the doctor's office, or wherever else they may need them. Emory, along with Children's Hospital of Atlanta and Georgia Tech, received $31 million under the umbrella of RADx to make that goal a reality. The original RADx program, now known as RADx Tech, has enjoyed significant success since its founding. Their work has created a huge biorepository of approximately 50,000 virus and variant samples, which is considered the gold standard by which all of today's tests are marketed against. Over the last 2 years, they've expanded their original goals to address all of the variants and the significant shortages of at-home tests which were available to the public. All of this additional work received additional funding totaling $64 million from NIH. And most importantly, their work has generated FDA authorizations for 41 diagnostic tests. And along with other aspects of the RADx program, they've contributed to increasing the testing capacity in the US by more than 1 billion. I was fortunate enough to join the extended RADx team as their contact at OTT about a year ago. They may not remember this, but I suspect that I endeared myself to the combined Emory and RADx advisory group when in my very first meeting, I mistakenly referred to the RADx program as the RADx problem. It turns out that managing the program, which narrows down hundreds of companies with potential diagnostics tests to a few dozen, then painstakingly evaluating the validity of those tests, all while adapting to the work to address multiplying variances that come and go, can certainly come with a few challenges. Nevertheless, Emory OTT has supported RADx since the beginning by facilitating the program's efforts to send and receive research materials and data between the dozens of participating organizations. And to date, we have worked with their collaborating companies to rapidly negotiate approximately 100 various research agreements. And we continue to provide expertise on matters involving IP protection and publishing rights, when trying to meet the obligations of the NIH. It's been a long ride, but we are proud to be a partner with RADx Tech in their ongoing work and celebrate it as our corporate partnership here. None of which would have been possible without the steadfast leadership and guidance of WILBUR, Greg Martin, and Julie Sullivan. I know WILBUR's here. I don't know if the other two are, but I'm happy to introduce them and to have them come accept the award.
So much. Thank you, David. And wow, it's a lot of unmasked people in one room. I should have brought some of those tests. But yeah, let me tell you a little bit about how we got here. And back several years ago, Dr. Martin and I started a U54 center that's NIH funded for point-of-care technologies. And when the pandemic started, Greg and I were asked to join the Zoom. We showed up in the Zoom, we said, oh, that's Francis Collins telling us about RADx. Greg and I, we totally forget what happened at that meeting because we're too busy taking screenshots of our names next to the director of the NIH. But we heard that we were supposed to serve as the test verification center for the entire RADx initiative. And how did we do that? Well, we did that honestly because of people like you all, right? So this happened, I immediately emailed Deb. I said, we need your help. And thanks to Robert's office, Deb's office, Todd's office, we were able to actually make this happen. And David is not exaggerating. I mean, if you think about how all these different tests, all the different companies come to us, they all have their agendas. So David and Raj, all of these contracts, I mean, they were just chugging them like crazy, so thank you. I mean, it got to the point where we were joking about David that there's like a button on David's back, if you push an MTA, it pops out. fleet behind us, having our back every single second. And that is not an exaggeration. So what have we done? We've done quite a bit. So every single test that you guys can get at Walgreens and CVS is vetted by us. You know, by labs like our Provax lab. You're welcome. We have the biggest COVID-19 biobank in the entire country. And it's a great research repository, but we're also using this to move on, working with our corporate partners, which we'll talk about a little bit. Just 2 weeks ago, our data, in which we collaborated with Children's Healthcare Atlanta, where we've proven that kids as young as 4 can actually self-swab. The FDA actually used that data to modify their regulatory policies. So they I don't know if I told you about that, right of reference has been achieved, in which any technology developer that has an authorized SARS-CoV-2 test can say, kids can now self-swab. So that changes everything, right? All of you with kids testing in schools will now change, because of the data we've been able to obtain, and because of the center we've been able to set up. Going forward, what are we doing? Well, we've actually established a pretty good relationship with the FDA. The FDA is always sending us stuff. And in fact, when there's a test that comes through their door, they often say, has Emory seen this yet? And if not, why not? So we'll take it. We've tested every test again with every variant, and again, and again, and again. And we'll continue to do so. And when the companies now come to us for new testing, we are stepping up. In fact, we're establishing a new center in which we will leverage all of our contacts that we have in the industry. So this activity has put Emory on the map when it comes to diagnostic testing, and we'll move forward with that. There's been numerous companies that have already reached out. Some really large companies actually have contracts already set up. So Honeywell, one of the biggest companies, period, wants to get into the diagnostic space. They came up to us and said, we want to partner with Emory. We want Emory to be our clinical partner, our diagnostic partner. And we have multiple contracts set up. In fact, again, thank you to the people up here for doing that. One of the first calls we had with Honeywell's lawyer, Todd, showed up, and then they talked, and I gotta say, it was like the most boring law show I've ever seen on TV, but it hammered it out. And that is the extent of involvement that these guys allowed us access to. So thank you, and I think we all can be proud of what we've done in the diagnostic space for SARS-CoV-2 and in this pandemic and moving forward. So thank you so much.